It's very important to remember the analogy that the Rebbe gave us to awaken love for Hashem. So that when you do a mitzvah, we feel that this is really what we want to be doing. Our hearts are filled with a sense of gratitude to Hashem that He took us from where we were, stumbling in the darkness of not knowing what we should be doing as Jewish young people. And Hashem arranged, it wasn't any accident. Maybe it was your great grandparents that interceded on your behalf in heaven, that you met the right person who directed you to the right place. And you ended up in the dormitory learning to keep Shabbos and to keep mitzvahs. And eventually you'll keep on learning and you'll teach others. And we have to be so grateful that this has become our life's journey. Partnering with Hashem and doing His work, partnering with the Rebbe, who is the ultimate servant, Raya Mahemna, the faithful shepherd of Hashem. If you just read about such a person like Moshe Rabbeinu in your own generation, and you could meet him, and you could participate in the things that he's trying to accomplish, wouldn't you do anything for that privilege? So we have to feel that feeling of gratitude to Hashem. And that inspires our Torah learning. That inspires this class. It inspires us when you light a Shabbos candle tonight. And when you say a bracha. And when you remember to say Birkas Hamazon, the benching after davening and so on. And most of all, when someone new comes into the dorm and you welcome them with a big smile. And you make them feel that they came to the right place. What else would you want to be doing with your life? So that's very important. Mashal that the Alter Rebbe gives us of a person who's so down and out. You know, I met a person yesterday. He was sitting in 770 and he's collecting money. He has no money. And he tells me that he went to a certain place where they serve food, serve a lot of food, a lot of people go there. And he went also to get some food to eat. And he fell asleep and he had a basket with all his things in it, his identification, his papers, his shoes. I don't know, those are things that he mentioned. Anyway, a homeless person, that's what he thinks. A homeless person came and stole his basket. He's left with nothing. So a person like this, the Alter Rebbe writes about him, where's he supposed to go now? He has no money to pay the rent, wherever he's staying. So he goes wherever he can find a place. And he becomes disheveled and his clothes become dirty. And he finds a place away from the eyes of mankind in the garbage dump. And there he is, languishing on the garbage dump. And along comes a beautiful looking tzaddik who says, what are you doing here? Come with me. We have to get you some clothes. We have to give you a shower. I have to give you some food to eat. Come, get into my car. And he's driving a nice car, and he takes him to his house, a beautiful house. And he has a servant. He tells the servant, give him a shower, give him some fresh clothes, give him some soup, give him a meal. And he sits and talks with him, and he shows him great care and affection. You have to be careful how you use these words. The Alter Rebbe says he hugs him and kisses him, and so we have to be careful nowadays. You don't just pick up strangers and hug them and kiss them. But that's the mashal that he's using. And it's about us, because that's our story. And the Eibushter, Hashem arranged that we ended up in a nice person's house who takes care of us, And he hugs us with mitzvahs. Mitzvahs are called embracing. We embrace someone. When you do a mitzvah, you're embracing Hashem. And with kisses from his mouth, that refers to learning Torah. The words of Torah come out of your mouth, and they're Hashem's words. It's like kissing mouth to mouth. When we think about it, think that this is a mashal about your life. This is where you're at. This is where you're up to in your life. I told you the story one time about this friend of mine who, at this time of year, just after Shavuos, when he passed away, I went to visit him on Lag BaOmer, and he said, I can't learn with you. I'm not well enough. I can't. I said, I brought my son, so you should cut his hair. It's Lag BaOmer. Oh, he said, he sat up and was filled with happiness and energy. A mitzvah, he said. A mitzvah. And that's how we have to feel. So that's one thing that we learned in this last chapter, very important concept. We have to hammer it into our heads, because the day is going to come when you're not going to be feeling like this, and you'll have to remember this mashal to motivate yourself and to inspire yourself. And you'll walk away, you'll think about it, sit down, think it through. You'll go out with a smile on your face. You'll see somebody else, you'll smile at them, and they'll smile back at you. And they'll think, what a nice young lady that is. She makes me feel so happy. She picks me up. And then we discuss somebody, because he's talking about this pasuk, the difference between someone who's serving Hashem and someone who's not serving Hashem. And he says they both refer to the Beinoni, because the Beinoni is a righteous person. He does a lot of mitzvahs, he learns a lot of Torah, but still he's called someone who serves him not. That's a key idea in Chabad Hasidus, that the test and the true value of a person's character is, are you serving Hashem or not? Are you fighting against your natural inclinations or not? And this person is not. He's just doing what comes naturally. So how's he supposed to motivate himself? If learning Torah doesn't motivate him to serve Hashem with any feeling, it's just became second nature to him. That's his routine. He's on automatic pilot. The plane goes up, takes off, and then just flies on automatic pilot. Doesn't accelerate. He's flying along 37,000 feet up in the air, learning Torah, saying brachas, davening, everything natural. He's not serving Hashem, though. So what's he supposed to do? When you find yourself in this situation, what are you supposed to do? So the answer is, we have to do a little more. Haisafa. Haisafa means in addition. And the Alter Rebbe gives here a comparison. He says we can learn this, the hidden love. Every Jewish person, no matter who he or she is, has a hidden love of God in their heart. So what is this person supposed to do? Page 227 at the bottom. Or even at the top. The Talmudic statement that a person who serves God refers to the one who reviews his learning 101 times. And the person who does not serve God refers to somebody who only reviews his learning. That's called chazara, repetition. I had a French teacher once. He said, repetition is the mistress of learning. A very profound statement. That's how Talmud, that's how Torah is learned, by repetition, repetition, repetition. Learn a thing 10 times, you'll get to know it by heart. Try it. And if you learn it 10 times, you still don't know it by heart, so learn it 10 more times. Learn it 100 times, 10 times, 10 times. But then you ought to know it. And if not, then do it again. So he says we can understand this. The Talmud speaks about this too. It gives an example of a person. It says in Talmudic days, page 227, The normal student, they didn't have computers. Normal student would review his learning, his Mishnah, 100 times. That was normal. And then the Talmud brings an example here in the bottom paragraph, page 227. From the marketplace. In the marketplace, you'd get a taxi. You go somewhere and take a taxi. You need to take home the groceries, it's too much to carry. Rent a donkey. So your donkeys are us. You go rent a donkey. And the price for the was one zuz, $1 for 10 miles. You get 10 miles for $1. What if you go 11 miles and it's $2? Because the normal distance you get for $1 is 10 miles. But if you want to go a little bit more, then you have to pay double. So similarly, if your normal routine is that this is what you do, so do one more. If normally you say the day's Tehillim, you say one kapitel Tehillim a day, you say two kapitel Tehillim, 2 chapters. Normally you say the chapter of the Rebbe, so you say the chapter of the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin. If normally you say the chapter of the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin, which the Rebbe says is a very important thing to do, Frierdiker Rebbe says, because it takes your davening in and connects it with Torah, because Tehillim is also Torah. So that takes your davening to a deeper dimension, to a higher level. And if you're doing that already anyway, so then say the days, one of the chapters of Tehillim from the day, your own personal chapter, the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin, and you add your own, say one for yourself. Hopefully it'll be a short one, not too long. And if it is too long, so you say 2 or 3 psukim. It's that extra little bit that makes all the difference. I think in athletics also, they say the same thing. It's the person who has a routine of exercise that takes him or her exactly so far, and that they really want to do well, they want to be champions, they have to go that far, and then they have to do a little bit more. And in learning, the Maggid of Mezerich, they said to him, how did you acquire such greatness in learning? He said, because every day when all the Bachrim would finish learning and would go to have lunch, I would stay and learn an extra 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I learned the whole Talmud. I learned the Talmud in 10 minutes, in the extra 10 minutes. Yeah.
How do you understand when you should add this, add more?
When you feel that your life is just becoming a routine, and you're not feeling any love of Hashem or fear of Hashem in your heart, when you're just going through the motions, it becomes like habit, rote, doing the thing by rote. Like you can do, you can bend over and touch your toes this way, and then stand up this way and this way. You can do 10 times, you can do 20 times, you can do 30 times. At 30, you start to feel a little tired. So do 31. That extra one is what counts. Mayan.
I understand what are you saying, but for example, in our days, people are really busy. They have a job and they're like working all day. And sometimes you're not supposed to follow it just because this person really busy. For a person to a little mitzvah or a little something is like a lot for this person, right? So how are you to understand like where the bottom line?
Bottom line, you have to have a timetable. If you have to be at work or you have to be in class at 9 o'clock, so you know how to allot your time. It's going to take you 5 minutes to get to class from where you are, from your dorm. So you have to stop saying Tillim 5 minutes for the hour. You have to have a schedule. And within that schedule, you try to do more. But doing more, there's so many ways of doing more. There's doing more quantitatively, how much, right? How many lines? It's hard for you to read. You're learning how to read. It's hard. You have to sound out every word. So you can't say all these things that I just listed, the Rebbe's kapitel, the Rebbitzon's kapitel, and your own kapitel. You're not, it takes too much time. When I was a student, I was learning how to daven, even though I learned as a child, but then I didn't do it for so many years. And I had to learn all over again. It used to take me hours. But I would motivate myself. I wasn't thinking I need to motivate. I wasn't thinking I need to motivate myself. I didn't think that. I thought maybe for some soldier on an outpost in Gaza or on the border of Lebanon, some sniper has got him in the crosshairs. And because I'm saying this kapitel Tillim, Hashem could help that he'll bend down to pick up something and the sniper will miss. That's what I used to think. And that didn't let me skip. And I used to spend hours learning how to daven because I was always afraid what the consequences might be. Because everything it says in the Torah, but it says in other systems of thought and religious practice as well, that nothing is in vain. Everything is connected. And like it's an old, I think from the Far East, that a person doing something faithfully in this part of the world can affect a change in another part of the world. Well, that's a philosophical thought, but nowadays we see this with our own eyes because we have WhatsApp. You can learn a line of Tanya or Hayom Yom here in New York, and someone in Timbuktu can learn it with you, and it can affect them. So it's not just there's two things. Yet, Mayan, there's how much you can add another word, you can add another line, and you're doing more. But then there's also qualitatively, when you don't add more, but you think about the meaning of the words. You don't know the meaning of the words, so you get a translation in English or in Russian, the language that you understand, and you try and think of the meaning of one word or two words, a phrase, and you recognize that phrase. Oh, that phrase is like an old friend when you come to it. Like meeting an old friend in the street. You feel so good. Come to a familiar phrase. What makes it familiar? That you thought about it once. Or quality of the way you say it. You could say a word, or you could do a mitzvah just in an automatic way, or you could do it with a smile. Greet a person with a smile. Greet a Torah thought with a smile in your heart. So if you didn't do it yesterday, that's an extra mile, spiritual credit. And why should you do this? Because in your mind, you know that you want to be connected to something that's true. What's true? Hashem is true. Hashem is a source of truth. We say Hashem is wise. Hashem is understanding. What does that mean? Hashem is true. It means Hashem is the source of wisdom. That's where wisdom comes from. It comes from Hashem. Hashem is the source of truth. Hashem is the source of understanding. Hashem is the source of beauty. Hashem is the source of kindness. Hashem is the source of mercy. So these are all qualities of Hashem. And if you do something with any one of these qualities, so then that adds a dimension to what you're doing. You're not just doing a thing without any thought or without any feeling. You do have feeling. You have feelings of kindness, feelings of self-discipline. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to let myself do this again. You understand? So there's quantity. How much are you doing? Always add a little bit more, a little bit more. Whether it's another word or maybe it's just another 5 minutes. You understand? So the quantity and quality. How are you doing it? With what feelings? Where do the feelings come from? Page 228. The feelings come from thinking about the greatness of Hashem. This morning, as I was coming back home, I took a walk, coming back home, and I see a young man. He teaches people fitness. He's very, very strong, powerful, handsome young man. I know him since he was a child. He grew up to be big and strong. And he teaches people how to exercise and how to be fit. And we met on the street. And the direction I was looking was south. And he was coming from the south. So I looked up because he's very tall. So I looked up and I saw the moon. Beautiful moon in the sky, half a moon. Because we're 3 weeks now into the month. Next month is Shabbos Mevorchim. After that is Shavuos. There was the moon. I said, Yoshua, did you see the moon? He turned around. Oh, he said, that's beautiful. Thank you for pointing that out. I said to him, could you put that moon there? He says, no. He's a big guy, but these certain reactions, they're the same if you're tall or you're short, if you're young or you're old. No, I couldn't do that. I have trouble putting my shoes on in the morning when I'm tired. I couldn't put a moon up in the sky. Mayan, are you with me? By thinking like this, you're thinking about the greatness of Hashem. You see the trees, they're going to lose their leaves. But the moon is not going to cease to exist. The moon operates on a different level of life that does not decay. When you think about it, could you do that? No, only Hashem could do that. So that's called thinking about Hashem. And that will arouse them to do a little bit extra in quantity or in quality. And that is, he says here, what will come from this? You will be able to master the nature that's in the left part of your heart, because that's where the blood is, and the blood is from Klippas Noiga. And this power will enable him to rise above his or her nature. And that is the service of a Beinoni, to stop and to think and to do a little more. Just finishing up the chapter now. Oh, there's no clock.
It's 9:01.
What?
9:01.
And in order to overpower your animal soul through a love of God, through meditation, like looking up at the moon, or looking at the buds coming out on the trees, or learning about the life cycle of any creature in the whole world. Like last few weeks, I was learning about camels. They're fascinating, absolutely fascinating, unique. Will help the person to reveal a state of feelings of love and commitment, and bring these feelings out. They're there, but they're hidden. Mayan, you should know that you have a very great love of Hashem in your heart, and that's who you really are. And through thinking about the greatness of Hashem, it brings it out. It makes you, yes, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be connected to this, and not to any other false gods from Hollywood. And this is called serving Hashem. So now we know in this chapter the difference between one who serves Hashem, who's working at it and overcoming the hesitations and the challenges of working at it, and one who doesn't serve Hashem, but he's just on automatic pilot. They're both righteous people. They're both doing Torah, learning Torah and doing mitzvahs. But one is called an oved, a person who is serving, and one of the other is called someone who's not serving. So obviously, the one who's not serving here concludes on page 229, wages no war. He doesn't engage even in the lesser struggle, in an easier struggle of awakening the hidden love that's in his heart. He studies only to the limits of his natural diligence. Just does that which comes naturally. And then even though he does use his hidden love in the service of Hashem, but this love in itself is not called service. So you can love Hashem, and it keeps you on track, but a person has to be more than just one who loves Hashem. A person has to be someone who serves Hashem. A child loves his parents. We have to have that quality in our service. We have to be like a child before Hashem who loves Hashem, loves a parent. But we also have to be like a servant before a king. We don't want to mess up, and we feel we have a great responsibility to the king, and we have a responsibility to ourselves, and we have to toe the line. What do you say, Mayan? You want to sign up?
Yes, sure.
I said the bracha downstairs. Thank you. Thank you, Hashem. But don't ever let yourself get discouraged or frustrated or upset, because the challenge is also from Hashem. He's our trainer as well. And he gives us challenges so that we should get stronger and we should grow. And we should never, ever, ever feel alone. That's a root of depression or sadness, because we should never forget the truth that we are never alone. Hashem is with us all the time. Okay? Have a wonderful Shabbos. Shabbos Chazak. Chazak, we finished the third book of the Torah, which goes on Tiferes. And we say the words Chazak, Chazak, Banis Chazek. Chazak means be strong, be strong. And we will be strengthened. Banis Chazek. What does it mean? It means we're leaving. Look what's happened here. We started off, the first book of the Torah is about the creation of the world and the establishment of a people who are going to spread God's name and awareness throughout his world. That's Book of Bereshis. We get the whole picture rolling. The Jewish people, who have now come 3 generations, Yosef and his brothers are reunited, and they're living in Egypt, learning Torah. And then they become enslaved, and we have to enter stage 2, which is the liberation of the Jewish people, of our people. We need to be liberated from the slavery that we have succumbed to. And we read all about it with the miracles that we see and experience the greatness of Hashem. Through all the plagues that Hashem is greater than anything in the whole created world. And then we leave Egypt, we cross the sea, we go into the desert with emunah, with faith in Moshe Rabbeinu and in Hashem. Or the other way around, faith in Hashem and faith and belief in Moshe Rabbeinu. And we come to Har Sinai and we accept upon ourselves the Torah, and then we begin to implement the Torah. We bring all our valuables, we build the Mishkan, and then in the book of Vayikra, we learn about what we have to do in the Mishkan, how to serve Hashem with a holy temple. And we learn about the festivals, and the point of the festivals is to keep the idea of serving Hashem and being in touch with Hashem central to our life. That's why people have to go to the Beis HaMikdash 3 times a year to celebrate our festivals. That we should never feel we're far away from Hashem. The idea that when Hashem took us out of Egypt, we knew He was taking us out of Egypt. We had a pillar of fire, clouds, 7 layers of clouds. What's his name? Rabbi Gordon likes to talk about 7-layer cake. We had 7 layers of clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 4 sides, above and below, 6, and 1 in front leading us. We had 7 clouds leading us. It was clear that we were together with Hashem. Then we went into Eretz Yisrael, nothing is clear anymore. Everything now becomes natural. But we've experienced 40 years with the Mishkan in the desert where Hashem gave us food, Hashem gave us water, Hashem did our laundry, everything. And we can't forget it because we're going to leave that. We can't just stay there in that cocoon. Hashem doesn't want to have a dwelling place as one little cocoon in the desert. Hashem wants the whole world that He created to be full with the knowledge of God. How's He going to do it? You got the call. You were sitting on the bench. You're waiting for the coach to give you the call. Well, you got the call. Now go out and show him what. Score the goal. Rebbe once compared our avodah to a game of soccer. That the soccer ball is like the world. And we have to kick the ball, get it away from the enemy to the other side, the Yetzer Hara, and get it past the goalie and into the net. And the net is the Dirah B'Tachtonim. You have to bring the world into the Dirah, that should become a Dirah, a place where Hashem can call home. So now we need great strength because we're going to leave the desert. We're not going to get the man falling at our doorstep anymore. We're not going to have water just coming out whenever we want it. We're going to have to work. We're going to have to earn a salary. We're going to have to give tzedakah. We're going to all kinds of challenges. So that's called the wilderness of the world. The 4th book of the Torah is called the wilderness, Bamidbar, in the wilderness. And that's a symbol of exile. When we're not with the Mishkan anymore, we had the Mishkan even for 410 years, 420 years. But then the Beis HaMikdash, then it was destroyed, and now we don't have that. All we have is Torah and mitzvahs. And we have to make the world a place where Hashem can call home. For that we need chazak, like we have to take everything that we've been through, the Exodus, the exile, the Exodus, the giving of the Torah, the building of the Mishkan, learning about the Mishkan. We have to take all that with us into the wilderness of the world. That's the picture, the big picture. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Enjoy the night. Stand up straight. Have a good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Yeah.
What? I have never heard. No. I've never. You want to stay here? Yeah, let's move. It's freezing here. Yeah. It's pretty hot. Really? No, that's so painful. Get it checked. Get it scared. The thing is. It's not going to kill you. I'm good, okay, that's sure that I was doing this, but I don't know how to do it. Look at it scan. Oh, yes, you're not. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. That's what glasses. Oh, nice. Naomi has beautiful nails. Her nails are stunning.
Yeah, 1 second,
I'm making her borrow. I need to show beautiful. It looks so like you know fit. Make sure my mommy.
show me,
Wait,
show me,
wait.
how long you did.
I'm saying goodbye and go. I'm sorry, you know. I'll still. I'll bring my new ones.
I'm just this. I want this, but it's my mom's games. Show me. Show me.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt when I walk like this. But I just walk like that.
Ooh. Oh.
It doesn't hurt like this. I don't feel like it happened.
Okay. One of these ones. From last year. Very nice. Yeah, very
How many morning was? I was getting dressed in my closet. I have a corner of my eyes and something. Centipede. With like the 8 million lights.
And big.
This big. This big. So finally, they jumped onto our chair in the closet, right? Screaming. They pushed open the my foot, and I berated my hands. Don't spray it. I said, no, don't spray it. Yes, shoe. And then I lost it. And then I don't know where it went. I said, no. I'm like, I'm gasping below, whatever, gasping it. No, it's toxic. I'm like, no, stop it, time. It's sketchy. This is like, to be crunchy.
That's talks about second.
Centipede where? In my closet. In your closet? Oh, it's fine. I don't want it in my clothes. The third week I think of school, I found a big centipede in my laundromat. The laundromat is in my like the double door closet. And I found it when I took it over to the laundry room.
No, I will survive. You will survive. You survive.
But I didn't kill it, so it's in our closet still.
You're studying, my dear.
That's bad. Yeah, exactly. I lost it.
You don't have to get color. This was so good, right?
It's also funny. I was thinking spray, but I was like, no, like I'm just trying
You need to take
action.
a strong power.
And then I did it. I lost it. So you have to go back and drawing something. It's my hair. This is the big hair. You want to do one that has like the one that rolls on.
Good luck now. You need to know.
Okay.
It's really the one I had this in my room. It's really scary. That work to see spiders. The chairs.
It's breathing hair soon.
Hello. It's just freezing right there, so don't worry. Wonder why. I think it's more like because of the choice about it. Do you see how
What?